This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. It still needs to be finalized and signed, but U.S. President Donald Trump says a trade deal has been reached with Canada. The Prime Minister is congratulating negotiators, but taking a more cautious approach, saying we're now moving towards an agreement. Here's Catherine Tunney on what we know at this point.
A rare sight in Washington. Two top trade officials side by side talking positively about North American trade, suggesting an agreement between Canada and the U.S. to avoid tariffs is within reach.
We feel confident that we've reached an agreement that will not only continue to protect American workers, American jobs, American supply chains, but really strengthen the North American economy and create a situation where North America will continue to be an energy powerhouse, a manufacturing powerhouse, and align on important things like economic security and digital security.
The meeting this morning between Canada U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer came hours after Trump announced he was pausing his promised 50% tariffs on certain Canadian goods, which were scheduled to kick in at midnight, and hinted that a deal was close.
Subject to the finalization of documents, we have a deal with Canada, and I think it's a very good deal for both parties. It's great for our farmers. Our farmers will no longer be held up because they were being hurt very badly by Canada.
Public details are scarce. The president's mention of farmers raises questions about whether there's changes to Canada's supply management system, like how the Canadian government allocates quotas. Minister LeBlanc didn't offer specifics, but says supply management will be upheld.
I am very confident in these discussions, and as we finalize the final text, as Ambassador Greer said, the Prime Minister was very clear. We needed to protect supply management. We needed to ensure that the supply management regime remained entirely intact, and I'm confident that that's the case.
It's now crunch time to reach an agreed-to final document before Saturday, one the U.S. president, notorious for last-minute demands, will sign off on. Catherine Tunney, CBC News, Washington.
Two men have been sentenced for their roles in a double homicide in Portage-La Prairie. Emily Smoke and her boyfriend James Borden were killed inside a Portage home in 2024. Police say the couple were ambushed when one of the accused wanted to confront Borden over a debt. Both men were drug dealers. Preston Whitford pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. He was handed down a life sentence with no chance of parole for 17 years. His uncle was also arrested and pleaded guilty to manslaughter. He was sentenced to 18 years. Brandon is set to become the second Manitoba city to provide free public transit for youth, starting September 1st. Selkirk began its program back in June. The province has already set money aside to help get these programs up and running. And Brandon says it needs $1 million chunk to offset the expected losses. CBC's Michelle McDougall reports.
No more asking for change or a bus transfer from one route to another. When students of Brandon School Division aged 6 to 17 hop on a bus this school year, they'll be doing so with their new pass. Superintendent John Zielke says they'll get it when they start school.
It's a fantastic opportunity for students, grades 1 to 12. Sometimes barriers exist for kids to get to school, as everyone knows, so having bus transit removes one of those barriers, so we're really excited about it.
Wheels are already in motion to produce 10,000 cards for students across the school division. Zielke says he hopes they'll be handed out by the second week of September.
We meet with principals on August 31st. We'll send something out to parents right after that, September 1st or 2nd, with the permission slips. We'll get the cards by then, so then we'll get them distributed to schools, hopefully before September 8th.
The free rides for Brandon youth are made possible with funding from the NDP government, which was announced in its 2026-27 budget, valid from the beginning of September to the end of August next year. Brandon will be reimbursed for loss of revenue from youth riders up to $1 million. The city's Greg Brown, with transportation, says if someone loses a card, no problem.
We have a process on the bus where we still capture the ridership, but the youth can still get on the bus. They'll get a little bit of education with it, get told, next time you're downtown, you should go and get a card, but we're not going to deny their ride.
And the free pass is valid all the time, not just on school days. The city's nonprofit, Sustainable Brandon, applauds the program. Kat Hunkin says it's a huge win for climate and affordability.
And it helps to build those really good habits in youth to choose a sustainable form of transportation. And as they go on in their lives, we're really hoping that the transit system will improve so that they're able to get around and use that as a primary means of transportation.
The first step in getting the free passes to students is having parents sign permission slips. They'll be sent home the first week of school. Michelle McDougall, CBC News, Brandon.
A group of university students took their first steps towards becoming future physicians today. The University of Manitoba held their white coat ceremony, welcoming more than 100 people into the medical program. CBC's Mike Arsenault talks to the students about their passion and motivation.
Taylor Tuckaluk is putting on her white coat, kicking off her 4-year journey towards becoming a doctor. Wednesday, the University of Manitoba welcomed these students into the Max Rady College of Medicine program. Tuckaluk has degrees in kinesiology and occupational therapy, and during her practicums, she realized she wanted to pursue medicine.
Especially in the rural setting, I see a lot of areas that I want to tap into because I see how important the need is for family physicians, which is something I'm interested in doing throughout school.
The health and well-being of my patient will be my first consideration.
Medical students recited the physician's pledge after receiving their coats. 2 years ago, the province increased enrollment, and 137 students entered the program this year. Amy Goodmanson can't wait to interact with patients and learn about marginalized communities.
We also have an Indigenous health course, and I've just been continually learning more about Indigenous people and the harms that the medical system has caused in the past. So I think it's just a really important course to make sure we're offering culturally safe care to everyone.
I look forward to meeting each of you as student learners, as residents, and then as colleagues.
The future physicians received words of wisdom from U of M alumni who graduated from the program and were reminded of the privilege and responsibility of becoming a doctor. That responsibility isn't lost on Tony Fatoye and Charlotte Cowell, two high school friends who are starting the program together.
Well, I think it's just really exciting to be able to know that when you start working and even when you're in school, you'll really be helping and changing people's lives, and you can make those connections and really improve quality of life.
Over the next 4 years, these incoming students will hone their skills and become the next generation of physicians in Manitoba's healthcare system. This class graduates in 2030. Mike Arsenault, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The Winnipeg Humane Society says it's at a breaking point and can't take in any more animals. The shelter says they're dealing with a lack of space and capacity. In July alone, they took in more than 500 animals, and so far this month, more than 320. The organization says they're getting more sick and injured animals, and many are being surrendered by their owners because they can't afford vet care. Many are unable to be adopted right away because they need so much care beforehand.
A lot of them will need extra time to, heal, which either means, they're in shelter healing or they're in foster homes. And, once they're ready to be adopted, then they go to the adoption floor. So, touch base with us in a couple weeks and we're going to be at capacity in adoption.
Despite its abundance of animals, only a handful are listed for adoption on their website. Many that are healthy enough are still waiting to be spayed and neutered, but the clinic is backed up. The Society will continue to operate its pet food bank and behavior hotline. Manitoba's newest MLA has officially been sworn in. That's the NDP's Jennifer Flett, who won a July by-election in the Pas-Kamisak. It's been an NDP stronghold for 6 decades. The seat was empty after Amanda Laughlin passed away earlier this year. Flett says she's looking forward to getting to work and attending her first caucus meeting. The legislature's fall sitting begins on September 29th. All right, Riley's in now for a look at the forecast. And Riley, I can see some showers behind you there.
Yeah, as forecast, Brittany, a few showers along a weak disturbance pushing across the province throughout the day today. So that running through the Westman area earlier and as expected, pushing through parts of the Interlake as we head into the early evening and down into the Red River Valley. Some of this just skirting through the city of Winnipeg and in and around it. So expect some showers as we get through the evening tonight, particularly through the Interlake and into parts of the Red River Valley. Not a steady rain by any means, but let's look at some of the numbers from first thing this morning. Thompson, 0.5 degrees this morning. So very chilly start in parts of northern Manitoba. 7 in Swan River, 8 in Winnipeg first thing this morning. Rebounding quite nicely, close to seasonal for this time of the year. 25 in the city, 22s, 23s into Westman. Thompson, 18 degrees this afternoon, so rebounding from that very cool start. So like I was saying, on and off showers through the evening in and around the city through the overnight hours. Maybe a few scattered showers first thing in the morning, and then getting back into some sunny breaks, Brittany, into the afternoon. I'll go into a little bit more detail when I come back.
Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
Off the air after nearly 2 decades, it's lights out for this hockey broadcast. We look at the impact being felt in one community next. To a difficult story now that many will find upsetting. Human remains have been found in a small northern area near the Pas. RCMP only confirming it's that of a newly born infant or fetus. The traumatic discovery has rocked the small community, who are now coming together trying to cope. CBC's Eric Westhaver has more.
A shocking discovery has the community of Umperville in mourning. People here found the body of a newborn infant or fetus here Monday morning. A vigil was held where the child was found Monday night, and a sacred fire has been kept burning here ever since. A shrine with toys and stuffed animals has been built where the child's body was found. They have not been identified, but locals have given them a name. They're calling them Baby Cypress, named after a dog who was found next to the body, protecting it.
Everybody's affected in one way or another in this kind of traumatizing tragedy.
People from here and nearby the Pas and Opaskwayak Cree Nation are trying to help each other. Wood has been brought for the flame, and people are offering food and tobacco.
What we want to do, of course, is help each other and support each other in times like this. That's important.
RCMP say they are investigating. They're asking anyone with information to come forward. Eric Westhaver, CBC News, Umperville.
After 18 years on air, Hockey Night in Canada Punjabi edition will not be returning next season. For many in the South Asian community, it created a unique space that helped bring them closer to the sport. CBC's Alicia Wang reports.
Winnipeg's Punjabi community is saying a bittersweet farewell to Hockey Night in Canada Punjabi edition. Gunny Maan grew up watching the broadcast. He now helps run a program that's assisted over 250 kids from the area who might not otherwise try the sport. It offers free skating lessons and hockey gear. After 18 years, Rogers Sportsnet said it canceled the broadcast due to low viewership. But Maan says its true impact lies beyond the broadcast,
which is to getting a community integrated into a sport that seemed foreign to them at one point. And now the community has graduated, it has evolved, and it has grown to not only enjoy the sport, but now to also make an impact in the sport itself.
Hockey enthusiast Param Delone immigrated to Winnipeg 15 years ago. For him and his family, the broadcast was a bridge into the Canadian tradition, especially for older members that didn't speak English.
The commentary sometimes goes so quick, right? So you need a time to grab onto that. But Hockey Nights in Punjabi was such a great platform to know about the rules, to know about what's happening, and they had their own slogans too, which was Maria shot kita goal and stuff like that. You know, those are the pretty good ones. Josh?
He also says events like the Jets' Cultural Heritage Nights, where commentators would visit, helped get his 8-year-old daughter Partit onto the rink.
What's made me want to get into hockey was so I could experience it myself.
Though members of the local Punjabi community are sad to see the broadcast end, they look forward to continually building their presence in hockey, both on and off the ice. Alicia Wang, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Social and community organizations in Steinbach are working together to make new Canadians feel welcome. It's a big factor in the city's growing immigrant population. CBC's Jura McElwraith reports.
Lázaro Emiliano Reseo Navarro didn't expect to find a permanent home when he suddenly found himself in Steinbach. The refugee claimant from Cuba had been living in Ontario and tried to cross into the U.S. to join people he knew there when he was turned around and sent to Steinbach, a community where he had no connections. He stayed in Today House, an emergency shelter where they directed him to Eastman Immigrant Services.
From being here, arranging the shelter, permanent home, going to the bank, going to the food bank, going to help with the employment assistance income. Mm-hmm. So every little move, you could see that smile of hope.
Reseo Navarro only speaks Spanish. With the help of EIS receptionist Magali Escarino acting as translator, they helped him with paperwork and finding a permanent residence.
So he's saying this is the first time he received help.
he is in shock because he has been in different places in Canada, and this is the first time that someone is taking care of him.
Steinbach Community Outreach runs the emergency shelter Receo Navarro stayed in. The manager there says his story highlights how important partnerships are in Steinbach.
He was very overwhelmed when he first showed up at our door, and I like to think now that he's, successfully on his own with the help of Eastman Immigrant Services that we had played a little part in getting him stabilized.
EIS has helped 11 other families with the same refugee claimant status in the past 12 months, fostering a growing immigrant community in Steinbach. As for Receo Navarro, he plans to take English classes through a local Spanish-speaking church and hopes to soon find work in the community. Jura McElwraith, CBC News, Steinbach.
As expected, a few showers across the province today. A few isolated, scattered thunder showers today as well. We saw some of that in the Verdun area a little earlier in the afternoon, and all of this activity has been pushing eastward throughout the afternoon. So expect a few showers, maybe a couple of isolated thunder showers as we get into the evening tonight across the Red River Valley and the Interlake and spreading into northwestern Ontario by the time we get into the overnight hours into the early morning. By the time we get into the day on Thursday, a mainly cloudy start for most of the province. Building high pressure to the west, though, will start to clear things out slowly on the backside of the system as it pushes south of the border. I do think there's a chance, particularly southeastern Manitoba, maybe as far west as Winnipeg, of a few isolated showers first thing in the morning, but generally speaking, cloudy through the morning. There's another system pushing across northern Manitoba as we get through the day, and the frontal system along this could trigger some scattered showers once again through the afternoon for northern Manitoba, and also into central and eastern parts of the province, maybe an isolated rumble of thunder as we head overnight into the morning on Thursday. And then that high pressure really starts to take hold, and we start to get into some clearing as we head through the back half of Friday, and this will hold in place as we get into the weekend. Mainly sunny skies and temperatures that are at or even just above the seasonal mark by a couple of degrees. So looking at our upper level winds, that's what's going to help drive this. So the storm track, the jet stream, pulling the main area of low pressure associated with some of that shower activity today south of the border, south into parts of the southwest U.S. and really much of the southern states dealing with another round of extreme heat. We will tap into some of that as we get into the coming days here. So you can see this ridge starting to build into the jet stream as we get into Sunday, Monday of next week. And what this will do is pull in some slightly warmer air that we will get a taste of as we get into Sunday and most likely into the day on Monday for south and central parts of the province before we see a bit of a pattern change midweek that will push things back closer to the seasonal mark to end the month of August. So your overnight temperatures tonight, for most of the province, not as cool as it was last night. I was talking about that low, 0.5 in Thompson overnight last night. 9 degrees tonight. Shamattawa looking at a low of 4 degrees. 12 through the Pas, Flin Flon, Swan River, 13 into Dauphin, and 14 to 16 degrees through parts of the southern half of the province, really. And into the day tomorrow, looking at 22 to 24 degrees. A very nice day, Brittany, through much of southern and central Manitoba. Maybe a few scattered showers, like I was saying, isolated thunderstorm possible into northern Manitoba tomorrow.
Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
Well, there was no pottering around on the course for one golfer. The terrific shot he'll remember forever. That's coming up next.
Okay, welcome back. I teased some slightly warmer temperatures as we get through the later half of the weekend into early next week. I'll get to that. But first, let's take a look at your dog walking forecast. And someone who's been enjoying the more pleasant summer sweet temperatures, that would be Chaos. Thank you, Norm and Alin, for sending this picture in. Please keep sending yours. Great dog walking weather. Talk back at cbc.ca. Maybe a couple of scattered showers first thing in the morning. 17 in Winnipeg, a light northeasterly wind, very pleasant tomorrow, around 24 degrees, which is seasonal for this time of the year. And have a look as we get into the weekend here. Maybe a bit windy into Friday, 25 degrees. There's a risk of an isolated thunderstorm. I wouldn't let that concern you too much. 24, mainly sunny for Saturday and pushing into the weekend. How about 27 for Sunday? I'm still keeping that 29 on the board for Monday with a risk of thunderstorms, and 25s for Tuesday into Wednesday. Well, this past weekend was one to remember for a golfer from Saskatchewan.
He hit a hole-in-one while competing in a national tournament. Take a look in today's Daily Lift. What a shot. That's Taylor Carter hitting the ace on hole 16. He won gold in his division at the Special Olympics Nationals in Medicine Hat. Carter's nephew was beside him as caddy. His brother was the first to see the ball enter the hole, and his sister-in-law recorded it.
Still surreal. I still look at it and think I didn't even do it, but every time I watch the video, it just makes me emotional. Like I want to cry every time I see it. It's that important.
I saw the shot and I immediately knew it was good. And it lands, it drops, and there's a bit of a hill, so we couldn't really see the hole. But I'm like, oh, that's going to be good. That'll be right by it. And then all of a sudden, from afar, we hear my dad yell. He's up by the hole in one. And he's screaming and running around. And then I jump around. I'm like, Tay, you did it.
Carter has been playing golf for the Special Olympics since 2013, and he is very much looking forward to the next competition. It's the delayed response for me, just like waiting for it to land. And it's like, where is it going?
Waiting, and then the excitement.
Yes.
You just see the hands go up. Good for him. I've never gotten a hole-in-one.
Golf clap.
Yeah, the golf claps. Love it. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
See ya.
My dad